Hello everybody, welcome back to PW with me Vandana. Let's quickly understand some good tips for the IELTS listening module in this particular lecture, and let's dive deep into the overview first. So your IELTS listening module is divided in 4 parts and you are supposed to answer a total of 40 questions, and the audio is played for roughly 30 long minutes. And after this audio gets over, if you have booked the paper-based test, you are given 10 minutes extra, which is considered as the transfer time, in which it is required from you to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the fair answer sheet. Now, audio is played once only. You cannot really replay it, rewind it, forward it, that kind of stuff you don't have any control with. Moving on, let's understand what is expected in all these 4 parts. So part 1 is going to be about conversation between 2 people, and part 2 is a monologue. Monologue means only one person speaks. It's not a conversation. It's sort of a talk, a lecture kind of stuff. One person speaks. Part 3 is an academic discussion. Academic. So here you will hear probably 2 students discussing their presentation, project, assignment, that kind of stuff, or sometimes their coach also joins in the discussion. And section 4 is again a lecture, a monologue, and this too is on an academic topic. And each of the section contains 10 questions for you to answer. Now, why exactly students lose marks? Because number 1, they lose track in the audio. And there is one single reason this happens, that they lose track in the audio. When they miss an answer, they keep on sulking there for that answer rather than moving ahead with the audio. Don't do that. Move ahead with the audio even though you have missed an answer. Second, they get stuck. And this happens when we lose our concentration. I always say listening is a game of focus and concentration. Just 30 minutes of concentration can get you a very good score in the listening module. Not understanding paraphrasing. Yes, they are going to shuffle the word order. Whatever words you are seeing in the questions, you will not hear the same words in the audio. The words can be shuffled and they can be changed as well. So they'll use synonyms, they'll change language. So don't expect the same language that you are seeing in the questions. And weak spellings. I mean, this is a heartbreaker, that sometimes you get the right word, but just because the spellings are not correct, you lose your marks. So this is another problem that some students face. And incorrect word limits. I mean, this is very common, but it should just not happen. Be very careful of the word limit. We'll understand about this, but yes, we are not supposed to exceed the word limit. If we do, we are not going to get any score for that answer. And yes, a lot of students, I mean it, a lot of students do IELTS listening in panic mode. What do I mean by that? The first word they hear, they write that as their answer. So they don't wait to hear the entire thing about that question. Sometimes that word is refused and another word comes. So you need to relax. You need to do IELTS listening as if you are listening to a podcast. Honestly, you'll have to get used to it. Okay. Now tip number 1 is, guys, see, anybody can screw up in the listening module if they are not reading the questions beforehand. Before the audio is played, you are given some time to read the questions, and a lot of students don't take that time seriously. Please start doing that. Without reading those questions, I don't think anybody would be able to get a good score. Okay, so start scanning and reading those questions quickly, and ask yourself, when you are reading the questions, ask yourself कि यहाँ पे आने क्या वाला है? What exactly am I going to get for this blank? Am I going to get a date? Is it going to be an adjective? Is it going to be a noun or a number? If it's a noun, is it going to be singular or plural? And here, grammar will be really helpful. That will tell you even before the audio plays that whether you are going to get a singular or plural noun. For example, if you see either a or an before a blank, that means you are going to get a singular noun. So get used to all these things. And if it's a number, ask yourself, is it a specific number or I'm going to get a range? Range means 60 to 80. This is range. Specific value means only 60. right? That is how it is. Moving on to tip number 3, focus on paraphrasing. Don't expect the same words. For example, if in the question you see the word appropriate, in the audio it can be suitable. If in the question it is start a job, in the audio it can be take up employment. Do not expect the same language. Moving on, tip number 4, do not get stuck. If you have missed a certain answer, move along with the audio. If you don't, you will miss more answers. So abhi to ek answer miss hua hai. If you don't move along with the audio, you will miss more answers. So move along with the audio rather than panicking. Do not panic and stay with upcoming questions. Sometimes we also have to keep our eyes on the next question, on the next options. Listening is a game of multitasking. You have to listen, you have to write, you have to read, you have to keep your eyes on the next question also. So get used to it. Moving on, tip number 5, use keywords smartly. While reading, underline names, dates, numbers, places, nouns, and I absolutely mean it, especially proper nouns. Proper nouns are those nouns which work as names. So for example, let's say Wednesday, this is a proper noun. अब ये तो paraphrase नहीं हो सकता ना. This can't be paraphrased. ये तो ऐसे ही बोला जाएगा. Saturday, September, even numbers can't be paraphrased, right? So they are your biggest keywords. Highlight them. In the case of computer-based test, you will be able to highlight them on screen. In the case of paper-based test, you will be able to underline them. And these anchor you during audio. Even if you have missed a certain answer, you have lost your place in the audio, these keywords or sometimes the subheadings will tell you where exactly the speaker has reached. Okay, so make sure you underline or highlight them. Moving on, tip number 6, improve your spellings, because this should not happen. That you got a right answer, the word is right, but since the spellings were not correct, you did not get any score. This should not happen. Start maintaining an error log. See where you are goofing up with the spellings and write their corrections. Karna padega. You will have to do this much, right? So the name of months, numbers, name of countries, addresses, adjectives, a lot of words are there and you would know where you goof up, right? Start maintaining an error log for that. Tip number 7, beware of distractors. This is classic. I mean, do you think the speaker would straight away give you the correct answer? No, there is going to be a lot of extra information. So for example, you are able to predict that, okay, for this blank, I'm going to get a date as my answer. In the audio, they will not throw one date at you. They are going to talk about 2 to 3 dates. Now that one single answer is fine, but other than that, 2 extra dates, they are your distractors. They are there to confuse you, okay? And listen for corrections. That means sometimes they speak one thing, they would say, okay, let's meet at 7 p.m. But then they would say, okay, wait, no, I have got some work. Let's meet at 8. So listen for such corrections. Moving on, tip number 8, word limit really matters. No more than 3 words. If it says no more than 3 words, that means if you write a 1 word would be correct. If you write, okay, let me give you a quick example. आपको 3 word maximum limit दी गई है, तो क्या आप 3 words ही लिख सकते हो? Let's see. In this case, this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct, but this is not gonna be correct. Jack, Jones, Lisa, Mary. Now this is of course not gonna be correct because these are 4 words, plus if you write a number, even that won't be correct because they have not allowed any number over here. Okay, so be very careful of the word limit. Follow the exact limit and avoid unnecessary words. Moving on. Tip number 9, a lot of students find listening difficult because of the accent. And if that is the case with you, practice listening to different accents. That's it. And it's not like you have to do practice for years and years. Just some regular practice for around half an hour every day. It can be watching Netflix also. That will get you comfortable with the foreign accent. Okay. And tip number 10, Transfer time strategy, that is for your paper-based test. In the last 10 minutes, when you are transferring your answers to the fair answer sheet, check spellings. Grammar really matters, especially when you are doing fill-ups in the listening module. Whatever you are writing in that blank, if that word fits grammatically, fine. If that word does not fit grammatically, it just cannot be your answer. So see in those 10 minutes that is that word making grammatical sense or not. Check word limit and capitalization. Capitalization means, I personally call it all caps strategy. So it is better if you write all 40 answers, every single letter in caps. For example, if your answer is September, and because it's a proper noun, you are beginning with small s, it could be marked wrong. So to avoid such punctuation errors, it's better to write like this in all caps. And not only for a single answer, I'm saying for all 40 answers, maintain this, write every single answer, every single letter in caps. In the case of computer-based test, you simply need to keep the caps lock on. Just leave the caps lock on and then take your listening test. You'll be sorted. That's what I did. Moving on now. Okay, so final tips to boost your score. I believe if you know about IELTS listening already, if you have been preparing for it, then you should start practicing one mock test every day. Check your score, check the errors. Once you see that, okay, I got 10 answers wrong, re-listen to the audio. Unless and until you get the justification of those 10 answers, do not move to the next mock test. Okay? And practice listening to different accents, and please do not do listening while you are panicking. You need to do listening with a relaxed state of mind, but with concentration. So that is all that matters. And IELTS listening, like I said, is about prediction plus focus plus paraphrasing, and it's a matter of practice. Without practicing, even if you are excellent with English language, without practicing, it's going to be challenging. Okay, so that's about it, guys. I hope I was able to help you. I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye-bye. Take care.